I want to say a very big thank you to Gas Agency. And honestly, madam, you have really woken the giant for me. The marketing thing, the brand, I sit down and I just like, you took me back to 8 years ago. And honestly, I really want to go back to my field. I've been a marketer for 8 years in banks. I worked with Access, I was in training before they decided to merge. My question is this: when I left the banking industry, I was like, I don't want to do banking again because I was tired, the stress and everything. So I decided to do my own thing. Though I have a little thing I do with one estate management company like that. But the business I'm into now is more like a beauty thing. I do facials, I do all those things, ladies generally. But one thing I discovered is that once I go into a new thing, before I have to blink my eye, somebody else is doing it. So, like a month ago, not even a month ago, 3 weeks ago, when we came for this, like the first lecture, I said the same thing and it made me understand some things and what I should do. So I decided to do something new. Only for me to discover last week Monday, I brought in fabrics. And everybody was coming to my shop. They were like, wow, wow, they were buying. And the third shop to me, the same thing happened again. They bought fabrics. This time around, I was like, wow. And the whole market crashed again. So when I got to my complaint to my husband, I said, the only thing is I want to go back to my banking thing, but I'm just tired. I don't, but honestly speaking, I think I'm ready.
You can't be tired.
You just brought that thing, that seal is back. And my question is this: on the business thing, what exactly can I do? Because I don't really know. But honestly, I'm really grateful for the seminar, and I'm very, very grateful that you are here.
All right, thank you very much, and I appreciate the comments. Very quickly, and we have to understand as business people, when any new initiative we're doing is in the open market, i.e. is available to anyone, you shouldn't be surprised that 2 days down the line somebody else is going to do it. I'll give you examples. It's just like everywhere, on every street there are more than a boutique. You always have like 2-3 boutiques. On every street there will be more than one food seller. You know, there's some generic things like that. There's nothing you can do about it. What can you do? You differentiate your products. So how do you do that? You need to constantly stay ahead of competition. So when you want to go into a new venture, you plan very well before you go into it. Look at the gates. What is the gate level into that market? If it is very low, we used to call it in that business entry barrier. If it is very low, then you are just covered for like 1 month or less. I mean, all of us have done it. I've brought in fabrics I've brought Akosombo, we did Woodin before, it's now Daviva. But the way Daviva has done it, now they brought in a lot of franchise, so it's just people who now decide, okay, I'll add like 500 naira on it or 200 and I'll be doing it on my own. But they've already settled the market by themselves. So it's, but in those days, everybody was traveling down to Ghana and using all sorts of methods to bring in, and we were all selling. So anytime you are in that kind of business, you must be ready that it's not going to be a coveted market. But when you want to do something different, even if it is still in that line, you will investigate, you will spend time to do a lot of research, and you pray for people to come your way that will open your eyes to where the new gold is. You understand me? Every time when you go into a new market, it will only last for a while before everybody rushes into it. So as you're planning one new market, you're already now thinking of what your next conquering line would be. So that every time people are trying to play catch up with you, you understand, you won't be tired because, immediately I've done it by this week, 2 weeks time now. Who sees a winning formula and would not want to copy it? It won't happen unless it's something that is patented. So one of the other things that you can be looking towards is start looking within you. What are the things that attract you the most in terms of business? What are you driven towards? And you start thinking, who can I go to? How can I build capacity so that you can go to a company? I have a friend who, when I had a short break before I went back into the bank, she had stopped and she opened a boutique in her house. But she goes to different places and she brings the clothes. Now, because she's been in the banking, all of her friends just come there to buy. Now, it doesn't stop her from having issues of people paying on time and all that. But she's kept at it. She'll go back, and what she does, she'll look for new markets. So when she's bringing in one style of suits and stuff, everybody say, oh, we bought this one from this lady. And while others are already clamoring and looking for how to get that, she's already moved to another market. And somebody could say, how long would you do that for? Okay, somebody gave me some shirts to sell, and I said, look, I don't have the time. So I took them to her shop. She knew immediately the next trip she went to look for those manufacturers. And she said, I know where they are. And she said, how much, what volume? She has started talking to them. She said, Buki, are you ready to partner? I said, I don't think it should be a problem. So she has taken it to the next level. You know what would happen? Even if people are going to copy you, you will go to the very source. So that what you are bringing in is such a crash down price that it's either they are buying from you or they will have to spend the kind of money you have spent to achieve that route. And that's what big marketers do. They will go to the source and negotiate great volumes. It's costly, but it must be something that you'll be ready to do and say, hey, I want to go into this fabric business. This is my end point. I don't want to buy from a retailer, from a market, so it seems like the advantage. I go to the source. The source would probably tell you the minimum bills you can take away from us is 1 container load at once. What is the value of that? Start looking at your sphere of influence. How do you generate that money? When you get and you are selling, what will be your best bet so that you are sure you are able to recruit? So you will have done your groundwork. So when you're sure that it's going to work, and it's not all of it that will work straight, like I'm saying it, so you know it's easier said. So you would have planned it that way, and then you will start. If you feel that it's too much for you, go and look for people. But you be careful the kind of people you look for to partner with you, because with some people you give your ideas, they go to your back and then they close that door. So when you find that, you go to the very source and then you get it. So if, for example, maybe those fabrics you were bringing in, if you get from source, for commission, for bulk volume, for bulk purchases, you'll be getting 20% discount. And the people are going to buy from are buying from maybe 20% or 15% discount. So whatever is available to them can only be minimum of 8 to 10 or 10. Then they transport it down. So you have an advantage of like 5% to play with. So you find that sometimes they'll now come. I mean, that time when they were doing those wooden stuff, I think I only went to Ghana for an official business and I brought some. I didn't go again. I just went to look for one woman in Adeniyi Jones. She brings in all the time. Okay, how much is it regularly in the open market? And in Swaga, they deal with her that, look, I'm retail, but I'll be buying minimum of maybe 40 or 70 each time I'm buying. So she started giving it to me at 1.8, and it's sold in the market at 2.5. So I started selling to people at 2.3. So it seems like I was still cheap enough. So what have I done? I've gone to the right source. While everybody is selling the same thing, one, I get to select very good designs that I like. And since I'm making the selection myself, a lot of, in fact, the guys will now say, they won't even come to say this is what they just say, pick some for us, help us give it to your tailor, know this, and so what have I done? My tailor, Ganiyu, will do it for me at 1.5. I'm going to give it to them at 2.5. And I'm getting my savings from that woman at almost 500 naira. So on that transaction, I've made 1,005. So I started looking for more of those transactions rather than even people who were picking the clothes. So people would just say, okay, we saw this style, we think we like it. Just help us pick a nice, we like this color, we like it. So I'm not even worried with them coming to select, coming to do, and I choose that. But that was just an opportunity that came up. You could still do that. Look for more value you can add to whatever you're doing. You understand? You don't have to be the tailor. Go and look for something that somebody that does a good job but will not charge you so much. Display it in your shop, and somebody will say, do you not actually like that? Oh, it's maybe it's 15K. Maybe the girl will do it because it's you and she'll collect 8K from you. And so they say, oh, I like that. And you already tell her to teach her to take measurements now. And you take the measurements. So they're not buying 6 yards from you. They're buying made clothes at a value, and the total cost is looking like it's still cheaper than what they regular. So all I'm asking everyone is, for everything you want to do that looks like a commoditized market, you must look for value addition opportunities. Where can I add value? How can I make my own difference? And you will stop running the race. Don't worry when people do what you're doing. The first question, you remember our why. Ask yourself, okay, why is this easy for people to do? Okay, they can copy. It's the same market. Why would I stay within what is so easy for me? Oh, it's because of this. Okay, I don't want that anymore. What should I do next? Then you start giving yourself more options, more ideas, and I think you'll do well. I think you should give this opportunity some more time before you jump back into the bank. All right? I always like it once people are veered off. Don't be quick to jump back in. Make the best of it before you drop.